What's up everyone? Welcome back here to the Megan Moose channel. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Well, it has been super rainy here in Florida recently, and I've been sharing a lot of Disney World tips and tricks videos. So today I want to talk about what you can do in the Disney parks when it decides to rain here in Florida. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Well, if you've ever been to Disney World before, you know that the weather here in Florida can be pretty unpredictable. Even if the forecast says that there's not going to be any rain showers throughout the day, there could be a slight shower or a thunderstorm that pops up out of nowhere. And I know what you might be thinking, man, if it rains at Disney World, that's going to completely ruin my trip, or that is the last thing that I want to have happen while I'm on my vacation. But I'm here to tell you that it might be the exact opposite of what you are thinking. So as long as you have the proper tools and equipment ready with you on your Disney vacation whenever it rains, you can still have a great time in the parks. So first I want to share with you some things that I like to have ready in case it does rain at Disney World, and then I'm going to share with you some reasons why when it rains at Disney World, it's a great time to go and what other things you can do while in the park whenever it's raining. So the first thing that I recommend having, even if it says that it's not going to rain, believe me, it will, especially during the summertime, is I recommend having some type of umbrella. I like to carry a park bag around with me whenever I'm at Disney World, so it's nice I can just throw an umbrella right in the bag and I'll be able to have it. If a rain shower pops up, I can still walk around and do rides and not worry about getting super wet. This umbrella in particular is super small and compact. If you are flying down to Disney, it's great just to throw it right in a suitcase. It's not super big at all, especially in my park bag. It's just a nice little thing to have. And it's really nice because it's not super big whenever you're walking in crowds and things. So it doesn't really take up a lot of room, and it's just a nice thing to have just in case it does rain. Another thing that it might be nice if you don't decide to bring an umbrella around is having some type of rain poncho. So they do sell the rain ponchos in Disney World themselves, but if you are coming and planning a trip down here to Disney World, I recommend buying ponchos ahead of time. You can get them for like $1 or something at Walmart or somewhere, because they are definitely a lot more expensive whenever you're in the parks. And especially if you are planning on visiting during the summertime, it's almost guaranteed to rain. I'm going to keep on saying it, but you can almost guarantee having some type of rain shower at least once during your trip. So if you have just a nice little rain poncho that you can add into your park bag, it would be really nice to have ahead of time so you don't have to pay the upcharge whenever you're at Disney, and you can already buy it and have it ahead of time whenever it decides to rain in the parks. The last thing I recommend having is some type of raincoat. So I actually have this foldable or this compactable Mickey Mouse raincoat that I got at Columbia. It's super cute. I love it because of the Mickey ears here, but you just unzip it and it actually comes out and it is a nice raincoat. So having a raincoat is also a nice thing because it can keep your clothes dry whenever you're in the parks, and that way you can still walk around and do all of the rides and still go about your day as though it's not even raining. But it's just a nice raincoat that I really like to have. It's nice because it's nice and compactable, and so I'll either just put this in my bag or tie it around my waist or just wear it throughout the day. So it's just a nice other thing to have is a raincoat to keep your clothes dry. And of course, you don't have to have all three of these by any means. You can choose one of each of them or just choose which ones work best for you. These are just really great options that I have found. Sometimes I'll have just an umbrella or I'll just go with just the raincoat. It really just depends, whatever works best for you. But these are really great things that I've found that are able to help you to still have a good time while you're on your trip to Disney World, even though it is raining. Alright, so now in the video I want to talk about things that you can still do in the parks to make the most of your day at Disney World even though it is raining. And the first thing that I want to say is that whenever it rains, there are much lower crowds. Recently, as I've been going to Disney World, I like going later on in the day because I find that the rain showers are done during that time. And so whenever I get to the parks, I find that as I am getting there, it is when the rain is stopping and people are leaving because they're either soaked, they need to go back to their hotel rooms to change, or they're just leaving the parks because they don't want to be there in the rain. And I have found that the crowd level has significantly dropped, especially in the summertime. We all know that is when everybody vacations. That is when the parks are the most full. And so whenever it rains, I have found that there are significantly less crowds in the parks. And with lower crowds come lower wait times. If you're able to have some type of poncho, raincoat, umbrella, whatever it is to keep going and pushing through the rest of your day at Disney World, you can still have a great time in the parks. You can go and do rides that usually have really long lines, and it's really nice not having to worry about having a ton of people around, especially whenever it's summertime. So sometimes I would like to say definitely take advantage of the times that it does rain in the parks, because with those lower wait times, you can definitely get in a lot more rides than you would usually whenever it's not raining and there's a lot of people in the parks and the wait times are a lot higher. Another thing that's fun in Magic Kingdom, I know they do a lot of parades, and one thing that they do whenever it is raining is they do the rainy day parade, which is really fun because, as I've mentioned, if you still have your umbrella, your poncho, or your raincoat, whatever it is, you can still stand outside and see the parade go by. They have the dancers, of course, and then they also have some of the characters on this little bus that drives around, and you're able to still see them and wave to them and be able to see the characters. Another thing that I really like about Disney World is that majority of their rides are actually indoors, or they're actually covered. So if you're able to run from ride to ride and try to escape the rain while going into some type of indoor ride, that can be another way that can keep yourself dry and you can sit out and wait for the rain to pass. Or going along with that, whenever it rains during the day, that's a great time to also go and do some of the covered shows that they have. I know that right now they're not doing a ton of the shows because of everything going on in the parks, but as they start opening up the shows again, or if they do have some of the shows going on in the parks, that's a really great time to go and do the shows because you can sit inside and wait for the rain to stop. Of course, I recommend before you start your day to keep an eye on the weather and see what it's looking like during the day. If you see that it's going to rain in the afternoon, maybe try to do a lot of the outdoor rides during the beginning of the day whenever it's not going to rain. That way you can guarantee to be able to do those rides. Then whenever it's raining, you can go over and be able to do some of the covered rides. Because some of the outdoor rides, like a lot of the roller coasters, if there's inclement weather going on in the area, they will actually shut down the rides, so you won't be able to ride them. So if it is some type of storm that carries out throughout the rest of the day, you want to make sure you can ride them. So maybe try to add those rides to your list of rides to do at the beginning of the day, and then check off all the other ones that are indoors for the rest of your day. Going along with that, of course, the weather is super unpredictable, so you can't completely plan your day around what the weather's going to look like. But if you see that it's going to rain around lunchtime or some meal time, you could actually go and decide to get your food around that time. Try to go and get some type of dining reservation or get some type of quick service and sit inside and eat while it's raining. And then whenever you're done eating, maybe it will be done raining and you can go on and enjoy the rest of your day. And this would be the worst case scenario, but let's say that it is one of those Florida storms that carries out the rest of the day. It's a terrible, terrible thunderstorm. I feel like a lot of people don't know about this, but the other option that you could have is you could resort hop. That's another great way to really still get a dose of Disney and see a lot of other pieces of Disney that you might not see otherwise. Disney has a great means of transportation. They have buses, the monorail, the Skyliner. They have a ton of things that are able to bring you all around Disney property so you can see all of the resorts and some other areas that you might not usually see while you're on your Disney vacation. So let's hope that it doesn't completely rain out your day, but if your day is rained out, you could at least do some resort hopping and see some other parts of Disney that you haven't really seen before. So those are my tips and things to share with you of things that you can do in the parks whenever it rains while at Disney World. I personally actually enjoy going whenever it does rain because, like I had mentioned, crowds are lower, wait times are lower, and there's just a lot more that you can do in the parks. So I would definitely plan ahead of time and bring some type of umbrella, poncho, or raincoats. That way you are prepared. But ultimately, guys, I want you to be able to make the most of your Disney World trips whenever you come down here to the park. So plan accordingly. Be aware that rain does happen here at Disney World, especially in the summertime like we are in right now. So just want to make sure that you know everything ahead of time and you know what to bring and how to plan out your day if it decides to rain at Disney. So thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope you found some tips and some tricks that were useful today if you are making a trip down here to Disney World and weren't aware of the fact that it rains a lot down here during the summertime especially. So if you have any tips that you'd like to share about what to do whenever it rains in the parks or how to prepare for rain in the parks, definitely go ahead and leave me a comment below. I'd love to see what your thoughts are, and I'm always looking to make my trips better to Disney World. If you have any tips that I don't already know about, I would love to read and see what you have to say. So thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I love sharing my tips and tricks videos from things that I have learned while in the park. So if you're interested in keeping up on more tips and tricks videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button below, and I'll keep you posted on anything else that I learned while I'm in the parks. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you in the next video. See you guys.